YNW Melly's court case is getting very close to the end. New evidence is being found by law enforcement, which is forcing now YNW Melly to give up his DNA in a court hearing. Here's YNW Melly's latest reaction on his case. Now, YNW Melly's last court hearing was one of the most important ones. In these photos you see here, YNW Melly is waiting and listening to the judge. At this court hearing, YNW Melly requested bail until his trial starts. YNW Bortlen, who was arrested with Melly at the time, he also requested bail at the same time. YNW Melly's bail was denied. Meanwhile, Bortlen was granted it, and this is all due to the new severe evidence that is found against YNW Melly. Now, on October 20th, YNW Melly's court files were updated. Prosecutors are now requesting the Broward County judge to force YNW Melly to provide his DNA in order to help solve the court case. Now, in the court documents, it states that in the vehicle where YNW Melly allegedly did the act towards two individuals, there was evidence left behind in the car being a yellow jacket. Now, this yellow jacket was analyzed by the Broward Sheriff's Office's crime lab, and a report was then issued, as this is very severe evidence. So, dated on September 2nd in 2021, the report indicates that Anthony Williams, aka YNW Sakchaser's DNA, was a part of the sample, and that there are 3 other potential contributors. The contributor profiles are not eligible to be entered. The prosecutors want to prove that YNW Melly is guilty in this court case by using a DNA test, which in the court of law is very, very hard evidence to beat. Now, after this information was being present into the courtroom, an updated photo of YNW Melly was released, which looks very concerning. Now, in this photo, YNW Melly, he definitely doesn't look anywhere near as confident as he usually does, and he looks to be having a very hard time while in lockup. To be fair, the quality is very low in this photo, but the concern is still there. Now, with the new evidence being found with the DNA that's needed, all of this evidence against YNW Melly is now making it seem as if he will be getting sentenced to life in prison. Now, here's exclusive evidence that I found in the court files against YNW Melly, and here's how it starts. Now, the first document states this, and I quote, "Then also, we have a video of Mr. Demons admitting to doing an act towards 2 individuals in the head." Now, I had to change a few words in that statement, but you probably understand at what I'm trying to say. They confiscated YNW Melly's cell phone from his manager. After investigating his cell phone, they ended up finding a video of YNW Melly admitting to doing the act towards Sakchaser and Juvy. Now, in this next court document, it states, and I quote, "This video was on Mr. Demon's cell phone, which was brought to my office by Jameson Francis." And that is how we had that, and that's all the evidence that Your Honor has. So as I mentioned, this is where it gets interesting. First off, Mr. Demons in these documents is YNW Melly, and Demons is his last name, weirdly enough. But Jameson Francis, the man in that document, is YNW Melly's manager, known as 100K Management. Jameson is a manager for many big name rappers like King Von, Melly, many others in the industry. He's very trusted. He's been the one holding onto YNW Melly's cell phone, and then the law enforcement found out about it and put a warrant out for the cell phone. So he had to turn the cell phone in or get arrested himself. Now, allegedly, law enforcement can do something called a data extract. This means that they can pull everything and anything that was ever on a specific cell phone. This means that they can bring back deleted text messages, deleted photos, and even Snapchats. Law enforcement will have all of this new evidence that was on YNW Melly's cell phone, and it's not looking good at all because of what's on it. Law enforcement then found a text message that YNW Melly sent out. This text message said, and I quote, "I keep Bortlen with me because at the end of the day, he did one of the realest stuff in my life." Law enforcement believes that this is Melly's way of thanking Bortlen for remaining loyal and not snitching in the court case. Now, the next court document states that the cell phone evidence is easily some of the biggest evidence in this court case. The next file said, and I quote, "These particular cell phones, which were both iPhone 10s on a T-Mobile network." Now, T-Mobile has a very interesting feature where it will tell you the environment that the cell phone is in, past or present. So from these cell phone records, I can tell you the exact moment that demons got out of the car and staged the drive-by location. Now, this is absolutely huge in this court case. Who knew that law enforcement can link up with a cell phone provider and then be able to get so much crazy evidence like going back in time and using a GPS on the cell phone to see where it was at a certain time in a day and to see if anything suspicious happened in that area. One of the biggest things in this YNW Melly court case is what happened after the incident went down. So after YNW Melly, Bortlen, Juvy, and Sakchaser went through whatever happened, there was a span of 40 minutes where YNW Melly and YNW Bortlen did not get any medical attention, didn't even try calling for an ambulance or anything for Sakchaser and Juvy. Law enforcement believes that when YNW Melly did the act towards both of them in the vehicle, they ended up pulling the car into a side parking lot that's connected to a back road. And that's when YNW Melly hopped out of the vehicle, roughed it up with his own firearm, making it seem as if it went through a drive-by, that way they had a story to tell law enforcement. Something like that would take 40 minutes, and it does make kind of good sense because imagine you and 3 of your friends just went through a situation such as a drive-by. 2 of them got very, very affected by it. Are you just gonna sit there for like 30 to 40 minutes and not do anything to try to help them or call for medical attention? Obviously you would. You would get your 2 best friends medical attention as fast as possible. And that's why law enforcement's having a very hard time with this court case. But with all of this new evidence that they found, I don't believe that this yellow coat is the only reason why they want Melly's DNA. I do believe they have something else, but they're not making it public yet. But anyways, let me know what you guys think of it down below in the comments. It has been district trending. Leave a like if you're new and don't forget to subscribe. I'm out. Peace.